Hi everyone. So this is Dr. Arun Kumar from the Department of Agriculture and Technology. Now let me discuss about some contributory factors for the abundance of the insects. Now first of all, before going to the topic, let me say that let me discuss something about the classification of the animal kingdom. You know that animal kingdom is again divided into two divisions. There is invertebrate and then vertebrates. Invertebrates are nothing but animals without any backbone, and vertebrates are nothing but animals with a backbone. So where you can see the pisces, amphibia, reptiles, hares, mammalia, including the human beings comes under vertebrates itself. Now again in case of invertebrates, so where there is no backbone at all, there are many number of phylums are there like platyhelminthes, where tapeworm, flatworms are the example, and Lemmihelminthes, where roundworms are the example. Next, mollusca, slugs and snails, and a phylum Annelida, earthworms and leeches. But among them, arthropod is the phylum where insects are belonging. Okay, so along with the insects, even lobsters, spiders, crabs are also the one of the members over here. Now, now let me discuss about the pie chart or distribution of the species among all the animal kingdom. When you are going to compare with all the animal kingdom, so most of the species are belongs to the phylum Arthropoda. So there's more than 70% of the species are from Arthropoda. It is a dominant species. So a dominant phylum actually. So even number of insect species, if you are going to compare with the whole animal kingdom, so 73% of the species are belongs to insect, but only 27 species are belongs to all other animal species. It may be birds, it may be spiders, ticks, mites, any mammal or anything. So next, even when you are going to compare with the microorganisms or plants or even those things, more than 50% of the species are belongs to animals, so insects itself. So what were the reasons for it actually? So as I told, more than 70% of species are belongs to which are animals itself, sorry, insect itself in the animal kingdom. So among them, there are some important orders are there in case of insect like Coleoptera, followed by Lepidoptera, and then Hymenoptera, Diptera. So where you can see the most diversity of the species, many number of species are there. So it is all because of three important factors, that is structural, developmental and protective characters. Okay, now let's discuss one by one, that is structural perfections and developmental characters, and then protective adaptations and devices. So first of all, first one, structural perfections, how it is perfect in their structural morphology or structure. So we all human beings or most of the living organism, we have endoskeleton, means a skeleton is there inside our body, but in case of insect it is having exoskeleton. You can see the skeleton outside of the body, means you can see the picture here, that is you can compare the exoskeleton of an insect with a suit of armor, means so what is the use of suit of armor actually? To protect the damage from the warriors that may be any other enemies in wars and all. In the same way, it is going to give a perfect structure, shape and protect from the any damages, either it may be mechanical or it may be from the natural means. Now let's discuss one by one. So exoskeleton, it is the insect body, and the insect body has an outer exoskeleton or a body wall which is made up of cuticle protein, which is called as chitin. So okay, so it is a light in weight and gives a strength, rigidity and flexibility to the insect body, and it is also responsible for many of the things actually, like desiccation or water loss from the body. So it's going to save the insect from loss of moisture or water, and gives physical and mechanical injuries, protect the body from the physical or maybe mechanical injuries, and maintains the shape and size of an insect, and providing area for muscle attachment, giving the strength to the body appendages even for us. So endoskeleton, that's what is going to do. It is going to give the proper shape and area for the muscle attachment, but by being inside. But here, by being outside, these are the things it is going to be done by this. Okay. Next, what are the other factors? So what which are responsible for it? Okay. So first one. Okay, so first one is the small in size. So I think you might have seen the insect. So when you are going to compare the insect with any other organism, they are very small in size. So that is the reason it can exploit the different ecological niches which are even inaccessible for the other organism. Take the example of if there is a cracks and crevices. So it may be any small holes. You can see the insects over there. So example, stem borer. So they are almost inside the stems, even though it is very small in size. That may be some of the bed bugs. They are always hiding the cracks and crevices. So insect, due to their small size, requires very less space, that is for shelter, and even food. Hardly few milligram they are going to eat per day. Okay, that's the reason they don't provide huge amount of food and energy for their survival, and can easily escape from the natural enemies. Even when you are going to try to catch any predators or predator, if they are trying to attack them, they can easily escape from their natural enemies. Next, quicker speciation. So quicker speciation is nothing but so formation of new species at a faster rate. So I think you know. So most of the organisms, they're having a longer lifespan or longer, more very less number of generations will be there per year, or maybe longer lifespan will be there. But in case of insect, it's having a short life cycle, means within a 1 year or within a particular season, it's going to complete many number of generations. So again, it is going to play an important role in a formation of new species in a within a few years or few seasons itself. Okay, take the example of human beings. Since many years or thousands of years, there is no changes in the species of human Homo sapiens. Since many years, we are Homo sapiens itself. Okay, earlier somewhere it was Homo erectus and now since many years we are Homo sapiens itself. But in case of insect, it is not like that. So tomorrow it may be Helicorpa armigera, tomorrow or day after tomorrow it may be Helicorpa zea, or maybe after a few years it may be Helicorpa something else. So that changes occur during the process of evolution through the variations in the habitat or maybe habits will be maintained or continued for several generations, resulting in the development of more species from a single genus itself. So you can take the examples here. Suppose in the first picture on left hand side you can see there is a original beetle population, around 100 number of populations are the example. Okay, so maybe because of some geographical barrier, like it may be rivers, it is going to flow in between the two populations. Again, it is going to divide into 50 and 50. Okay, so for many years or maybe a few number of generations, there will be no mating between those groups. So one day what happened, it is going to become a separate species. So you can see example Holotrachus serrata, Holotrachus consanguinea. An example of the white grub beetle. Okay, so you can see the picture. A river arises, effectively splitting the population after many generations. Each population's yellow genetic differences. So after the river dries up, even though there is no barrier now after few years, but even though they are going to mate each other, they are not going to get any offspring or viable offspring, because now they are currently they belongs to different species. But in case of other organisms, including the human being, and other things, if you see, it is going to take millions of years to become a different species or a new species. Okay. So another important factor here, it is functional wings in case of the insects. Okay. So insects are the only invertebrates to have the wings. So here it is having. So take the example of birds or bats. They are, of course, they are having the wing, but they sacrifice something. Usually in all the organisms, four pairs of legs, sorry, two pairs of legs will be there. Okay, so here in case of birds and bats, the front legs are modified as the wing, so that is the reason they can fly better. They are using. Okay, in other organisms, it may be human beings, we are using the front legs as far as a hand now, even in monkeys and other things. But in case of insect, so along with the three pairs of legs, they are having even two pairs of functional wings. There is a insects are the only invertebrate to possess the functional wings. Next, so that's what I wanted to say here. The two pairs of wings are that are present in meso and metathorax. So that is the reason this combination of meso and metathorax is called as pterothorax, which are mainly helpful for taking the flight from one place to another in search of the food, shelter, or to find the mate, and to oviposit or to lay the egg, or to get the protection from the natural enemies. Means if there is any danger, they are going to fly away. Next, hexapod locomotion. I think you know that. So insects are having six number of legs. That is the reason it is called a hexapoda. Okay. So here you can see the picture here. So example, left side of the front leg, right side of the middle leg, and again left side of the hind leg. They are going to function together. So if the any one leg is frontward, other two legs also will be frontward itself. In the same way, right leg of the first leg, front leg, or maybe left leg of the second leg, and then right leg of again hind leg. They are going to combinedly they are going to work together or function together. Okay, so you can see the picture here. So how they are functioning. So because of the presence of six legs on the three thoracic segments, though a pair of legs are lost. So out of 6 legs, even though there is a one pair of legs is going to be lost, so insect, even the insect can have equilibrium during all the phases of its locomotion, and they can move, they can walk, they can run. So insect uses 3 legs at a time during the locomotion, while the remaining 3 legs are static, which gives a greater stability for their movement or maybe for walking. You can see the picture or a video once again over here. So how the 3 pairs of how the different legs are used here. Next, insects are having the compound eyes. So insects are the only organism which is having both simple eyes and then compound eyes. So you can see in the, you can observe in the picture here in the middle there are 3 pairs, 3 number of simple eyes and one pair of compound eyes. So take the example of human being. We are having only 2 lenses here. We are having a simple lens. If anything happen to our single eye, we can see through the another eye. Again, if anything happens to both eyes, we are going to become a blind. But it is not in case of the insect. If anything happen to the simple eyes, they can see through the compound eyes. Again, so it is having many number of lenses in the compound eyes. So it may be up to 10,000 number of lenses. Even if anything happens to 9,999 lenses also, they can see the things. Then none of the insects are going to become blind until you are going to damage everything. So example, so most of the adult insects and nymphs consist of the compound eyes as visual organs, which possess a number of hexagonal units which are called as ommatidae or cells or lenses. Okay, so corresponding to the cornea of an individual eye or lens. So because of the presence of number of ommatidae in the compound eyes, even if some or few ommatidae or lenses are get damaged, the insect does not lose their power of vision, means they never become any blind. Next, scattered sense organs. Take the example of ourselves actually. So we are having most of the sensory organs in the head itself. It may be eyes, it may be ear, nose, tongue. It is everything in the head itself. Okay. But in case of insect, it's scattered throughout the body. Wherever it may be on the thorax, it may be on the abdomen, everywhere you can see the sensory organs. So that is also an important benefit for them. The sense organs like visual organs, gustatory organs, organs of touch, etc. are distributed on different parts of the body of an insect, such as antenna, eyes, mouthpart in the head, legs with the claws on thorax, tympanum, cerci in the abdomen. So this scatteredness on all parts of the body prevents the chance of all being damaged. So if they are in danger, automatically they can sense it. Okay. Even sometimes, if anything happening behind backside of us, we can't able to sense it, but insects can. Now, and one more thing is having a decentralized nervous system. Decentralized nervous system is currently we human beings or most of the organisms are having centralized nervous system. Everything is controlled by the brain itself. Okay, if anybody is going to cut our head, immediately there will be death of us. Even in case of other organisms, but in case of insect, it is not like that. Even if you are going to cut the head of an insect, they can fly, they can move, they can mate, they can do anything except eating because there will be no more parts. So the nervous system is so decentralized that insects can be uh, artificially stimulated to walk, fly, mate, feed, oviposite, even if some parts of the body are removed, even sometimes even the head. So you can see the ventral nerve cord here, which is again divided into brain, subesophageal ganglion, or maybe thoracic ganglion, abdominal ganglia. So a ganglia is nothing but a cluster of neurons. Many number of neurons will be present over here, which are going to take the stimulus. If anything happens to thoracic part, the stimulation will be taken by the thoracic ganglia and sent to the brain or maybe other part, so that immediately it is going to take an action. Next, direct respiration. We human beings or any other organisms are having a nose for the sake of respiration purpose. Through the nose, it is going to enter through the tracheal and the finally to the lungs and all. But in case of insect, it is having many number of spiracles throughout the body. Usually, in a typical insect, 10 will be there. 2 pairs on thoracic segment and 8 on abdominal segments. So insect respire by the means of thick, thin elastic air tubes, which is known as trachea. That's what is called as tracheal respiration, by which open outside on the body surface through the spiracles. And presence of these trachea allows free supply of the oxygen to the insect and make it to be an efficient terrestrial or aerial arthropod. Immediately it can get the oxygen and supply it actually. And one more thing, actually, when you are going to dive into the water, so definitely water is going to enter inside through our nostrils. Okay, but in case of insect, it is not like that. So it is hydrophobic in nature. If you are going to throw the water insect into the water, So humidity will be closer of the spiracles and no entry of the water through the spiracles. Next, enteronephric excretion. So we are having kidney, only one pair of kidneys are there here, and no other modes of excretions here actually for us. But in case of insect, so excretion mainly by means of Malpighian tubules, where many number it will be there. It may be up to thousands number in case of some of the insect like arthropods. Okay, so Malpighian tubules which open in between the midgut and hindgut, and again this arrangement is well suited for the water conservation as well as for the absorption of the unwanted waste metabolites at a quicker rate. At a faster rate, it is going to take the absorption, reabsorption will be more. So that is the reason. Insects are going to excrete the feces in a pellet form, not in liquid form at all. So next, another factor is developmental characters. You know that insects are having high fecundity. So fecundity is nothing but a egg laying capacity having female. So it helps to increase the population of insect at a faster rate. You know that any organisms maximum it may be 10 to 100 number of offsprings it can give or give birth to the 10 to 100 number of embryos throughout our life cycle as an adult female. But in case of it is not like that. For a day itself it is going to lay around 100 to 1000 number of eggs. So take the example of this queen termite. So it is going to lay around 5000 to 10,000 number of eggs per day itself. So tomorrow it may be 5000, tomorrow again it will be, it is going to increase, population is increase by 10,000, day after tomorrow again 15,000. So at a faster rate there will be development or increasing the population. There is one of the major benefit for it actually. So again, in case of insect, in any other organism, either sexual reproduction will be there or asexual reproduction will be there. But most of the animals they are having a sexual reproduction. But in case of insect, it is not like that. It is having both sexual and then asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is nothing but here parthenogenesis. Even without fertilization, even without mating with the male, it can go for laying the eggs. And it can produce the offspring. This parthenogenetic reproduction is coupled with high fecundity helps insects to increase their population to large numbers when all the biotic and abiotic factors are favorable. If everything is favorable, more population you can expect it. Next, controlled reproduction. So it is normally you can observe in cases of social insects actually like honeybees, termites, ants, because in social insects there will be different caste will be there. Casteism will be there commonly like queen, king, worker, soldier in case of the termites, and queen, drone, workers in case of the honeybees, where only queen can lay the eggs. Other caste they can't able to lay the eggs because they are the nothing but sterile and it will be non-reproductive one. So even in case of honeybee, so queen is going to secrete a substance called as queen substance. So if it is eaten or drunken or fed by the workers, so they are going to become sterile. Okay, so that so only queen can lay the egg. She will be the only queen or egg laying female in the uh, comb. Okay, though the insect possesses high fecundity, there is also high degree of control over the reproduction by reducing the number of females that can lay the eggs. This character is mostly seen in case of social insects like honeybees and then termites. A shorter life cycle. As I discussed earlier, insects are having a shorter life cycle. Within a month, it is going to complete many number of generations. Within a season, within a year, it's going to complete many number of generations. So most of the insects have a very short life cycle. It may be 2 to 4 weeks. In some of the insect, even within 1 week, it is going to complete a single generation, which help the insect to complete more number of generations in a definite period of time. Some of the insect more than 40 generations per year it will be there. Okay, so next specificity of the food. So insects are highly versatile. They are present everywhere, and they are going to eat many things. So not all the insects are going to feed only on particular things. So some are herbivorous, some are carnivorous, some are omnivorous. Again, in case of herbivorous, some are going to eat only on the what I call field crops. Some are going to attack only on the fruits crop. Some are going to attack only on the forest trees. Again, in case of field crops, some are going to attack only on cereals. Among cereals, some are going to attack only on rice, which may not be attacking on the sorghum or maize, any other thing. So they are specific to the particular food grains and maybe food source. So that is the reason there will be no competition among them. They can survive for longer period of time. So there is a diversity in the food habits among the different species of insect as they differ in their preference for particular type of food. So there will not be any competition among themselves less competition for the food increases their chances of survival and then for the multiplication or reproduction. Next, the zenith of evolution. Already I told it is nothing but higher degree of quicker speciation. Quicker speciation. So during the process of evolution, insects have known a high degree of speciation or formation of new species within a short period of time, to the extent that there is a division of labor, polymorphism, etc., that make them to be more efficient in the struggle for the existence. Okay. Next, the last factor it is protective adaptations and then devices. So what is it actually? So it is nothing but their insects are going to protect themselves from the environmental conditions or natural means. So they have developed or attained some adaptations, including the first one morphological adaptations. Morphologically, how they are protecting themselves. So first one, you can see the picture here. So it is called as camouflage. Camouflage means it is mimicking the background. You can see the moth over here, but there suddenly it cannot be noticed by any of the people at maybe natural means. So here it is doing camouflage or mimicking the background to escape from the natural maze. You can see the other pictures like katydid, which looks like a leaf, like maybe even the caterpillar in case of the mango leaf, and even some of the other moths which is looking like a stem of an or a what you call branch of a tree. And same, I think you might have seen our Indian soldier or many of the country soldiers, they're having these kinds of dresses because they should mimic the background, or even the natural what you call terrorists or any people, they should not see them directly. Okay, to escape from there, to avoid they're having this camouflage. Okay. So now let us discuss about what is a morphological adaptation. First one, the body color or shape of the some insects make them look apart, so look part of the plant and thereby protecting them from the natural means. And even sometimes some of the predators like praying mantids or anything, they are deceiving the or cheating the host by make they are looking like some leaf or maybe stick like structure. Okay. So next, physiological adaptations. Here, some of the insects are going to produce foul smell or release some poisonous things, unpleasant odors. So because of this, what happen? Immediately, natural means are going to reject them. So take the example of us itself. You are going to, if you are trying to kill the insect or if you are trying to correct the insect, they are going to, if there is going to produce a foul smell, immediately you are going to throw it back. Okay. Or sometimes, so they are going to show the warning colorization by saying that I'm very dangerous fellow or I'm unpalatable insect, don't try to eat me. You can see some of the insects here like stink bugs. Stink bugs is having a specialized exocrine gland located in the thorax or abdomen that is going to produce a foul smell of the smiling, which is having the hydrocarbons. Okay, even in case of bed bugs also you can see. Next, some of the insect like larva of swallowtail butterfly is having a reversible gland which is called as osmotictia. In the first picture you can see in the bottom side. So in the resting stage you can't able to see the osmotictia. But if it is get any disturbance by the natural means or anything, it is going to evade the osmotictia which is just behind the head. When disturbed, they release the repellent volatile waves their body back and forward to out of the introduce or any natural means. Even some of the insect like blister beetle, it is going to produce the chemical substances are called as cantharidin, a strong irritant and a blistering agent. That's why it is called as blister beetle. Okay. Next, behavioral adaptations. What kind of behavior it is doing? Okay. Usually, many of the natural enemies they prefer to attack and feed on the live insects. If it is a dead one, they are definitely they are going to reject it. So that is the reason. So some of the insects are adopting these kinds of behaviors. So it is a defense strategy adopted with some of the insects through fearing dead or death or imitating the voice of the dangerous insects or mimicry. So because of that, natural means are going to ignore them or reject them and they are going to move away from them. Example, if you see Colorado potato beetle, when disturbed, draw their legs beneath and just drop to the ground and pretend as if it is dead. Even you can see in case of other insect like airy caterpillars. So next, construction of protective structures. I think you know, just like human beings or any other creatures, they are living in their own nest or houses. So some of the insects construct their shelter with the available plant material for protecting themselves from the adverse conditions, natural means, and to store the food material, especially in case of social insect, for use during the period of scarcity. I think you are familiar with the ants. Always throughout the day, it's going to collect the food material and it's going to store in the some particular compartments. Example cases bags in case of the bagworms. With the picture, let me show example. This is a bagworm or it may be case worm. So whatever the available materials are there, like it may be sticks, straw or sand, any other material, it is going to construct the bag like structure and it is going to stay inside of it. Next, in case of dormitory also, I think you know that there will be different four castes will be there, like a king, queen, worker, and then soldier. Again, in case of soldier, there will be two types of soldiers are there. There is a mandibular and then asset types of soldier. So here, different compartments are there here, and exactly in the middle, at a deeper depth some depth of the soil surface, there will be royal chamber where you can see the productive ones. That is both king and then queen. Okay, so it is highly protected area and all the food facilities will be available over here. At the topmost areas, so you can see many number of workers will be there, and in between and some chimneys will be there for the sake of aeration purpose. So in case of the insect, it is having a well planned what you call construction or a nest. Okay. Next, even in case of honeybee, if you see, so it is also one of the social insect where different castes are there, like drone, queen, and then worker. More than 90% of the population is nothing but the workers itself. Okay, they are involved in different activities like collection of the nectar, propolis, water, and construction of the nest. It is nothing but a comb in hexagonal shape. But it is going to vary from one species to another species. That some are going to construct only multiple comb, some are going to construct a single comb in a horizontal or maybe bigger one. It's going to vary. So these are the different contributions of contributor factor. So because of this, you can see the more number of species are there in the earth which are belongs to the insect itself. Not only in case of phylum Arthropoda, even from the kingdom Animalia or maybe everywhere. Even when you are going to compare with the what you call plant, microorganism, anything, more number of species are from the insect itself. Okay, thank you.